the Infinity IRS-V versus the Genesis 1. Well, it's fun. I've been asked this question a lot, so I thought, let's just hit it here in one of the videos. This particular one comes from Ira in Honolulu, Hawaii, my birthplace. I don't know if you know Ira, but I was born on Ewa Beach. Well, actually not on the beach. I was born in the Plantation Hospital, but it was on Ewa Beach in Hawaii. Hey, Paul, I recently read your book, 99% True, and enjoyed it very much. Thank you, sir. Thanks for sharing your fascinating and very colorful life experiences. They were that. One question I have is in regards to the Infinity IRS-V and the Genesis 1 speakers. Since I've never had the pleasure of hearing either speaker, how do they compare sonically? I know you have a much beloved set of IRS-Vs in the listening room, but how do they compare to the Genesis ones that you designed with Arnie Nudell, and what are the differences? Well, thank you, Ira. And what are the differences? Let's start with the physical differences. They are certainly more closely related than not. For those of you that haven't read 99% True, there's the whole history in there of how we got from here to the Gen 1s and why, because of nearly going bankrupt and God. Oy vey. These speakers are 7.5 feet tall, 1.2 tons, 4 columns, okay? The Gen 1s are almost identical, certainly identical in height. They too are 7.5 feet tall. They too have the curved wings and the center baffle. They too have a base. They too have 6 drivers in a woofer cabinet with a massive servo woofer amplifier. So they are more similar than they are dissimilar. Where they start to differ, and what Arnie and I did that was different in the Gen 1s versus the IRS-V, was that, for starters, the center baffle in the Gen 1 didn't have all of these drivers. So in the IRS-V, you have 12 EMIM mid-range drivers and 36 tweeters. On the Gen 1s, we had a single floor-to-ceiling, top to bottom, mid-range ribbon driver. And the original one was made by Bob Carver, and it was very good. And the next one was made by Bolander Graebner, both of which are no longer made anymore. But it was a single ribbon as opposed to breaking it up with many ribbons that we do in the IRS-V. The tweeters were pretty much the same. They were ribbon tweeters. Ours were round ribbon tweeters. And there was a row, I don't remember how many there were, but there was a row on the front and a row in the back, making it a dipole. In the woofers on the Gen 1s, we did the same 6 12-inch servo-controlled woofers. The differences there were that in the IRS-V, only one of the woofers has an active motional feedback system called an accelerometer on it, and it has a single 2,000 watt amplifier that drives all 6 woofers that follow the lead of that single accelerometer. In the Genesis 1, I designed all of that, so I thought, well, I'm going to do one better than what our buddy Bascom did in the original IRS-V. And so I designed 12 accelerometers, one in each woofer. Each woofer had its own cabinet, its own division, and each woofer had its own amplifier. So that was a 12-channel amplifier, where this is just a 2-channel amplifier. And so the Gen 1 had a much better woofer system than the IRS-V. The IRS-V's woofer system is really good, but it's dated. It's 1985, and it could have been done better. Well, at the time it couldn't. At the time it was absolutely revolutionary, and I learned everything, from that system. Overall, in sound quality, I think certainly Gen 1s have better bass. I think the Gen 1s have better highs. I don't think Gen 1s have as good a mid-range as the IRS-V. But then people ask me, and overall I'd say the Gen 1s are a better speaker. But people say, well, if that's true, and you're in a position to get pretty much anything you want, don't I wish, why these? Well, it's simple. I have lusted after owning a pair of IRS-Vs from the very moment I first saw them way back in 1984, 83. I'm not very good with months and years. I saw them first at Harry Pearson's house, HP, from the Absolute Sound magazine, and I just wanted to get down on the floor and just, oh my God! And I don't know if they were pointed towards the east, but I got to tell you, I had never heard anything like it, and probably never will hear anything like that system. And so I just had to have a pair. I just lusted after them. And when this pair came available through a place up in New York, I think I paid $28,000 for them, I nabbed them. Because you know what? You got to scratch those old itches, don't we? Anyway, thanks for letting me tell you all about them, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.